All right. So, pita breads. Pita breads are great. They are a flatbread, probably originated in the sort of Southwest, Middle East, and they're the kind of thing that you'll find all across the Mediterranean. Although I would say that the Middle East generally has a real kind of like layer claim to it. So, for the pita bread, you are going to need 500 grams of flour, plus some extra flour because you're going to need it for kneading and rolling up a pepper in the area. You're going to need to get your hands on some little bit of yeast and some olive oil, and finally some salt. And that's all that you need to make the pita bread. It is a rather lengthy process. You will need to let it rise for an hour once you've kind of like prepped the whole thing, but that's okay. You'll find stuff to do in the meantime, like make the hummus. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to get your yeast, and you're going to want to put it in with about 300 milliliters of warm water. Give it about 5 minutes. Once it starts getting like frothy, looking a little bit like a sort of weird milky beer, that's when that's good to go. So you've got that there. Next, get your 500 grams of flour. Now, thankfully, I don't need to measure this one because the bag is 500 grams. But in my experience, you always end up using close to about 600 or 700. So you will need to have more to add to it as it goes along. Now, as we have been told by the government, wash your hands. So, wash your hands. I already have. I'm prepared. I'm very good at this. Bam. And next, you're going to want 2 teaspoons rather of salt in your flour, like so. Bish bash bosh, easy peasy boys. Oh God, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Oh Jesus. Cooking show. So you're also going to want 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Chuck it in there like that. If it overflows a little bit, that's fine. It's olive oil. It's all good stuff. Remember, always keep your spirits up. All right, good stuff. So, add a bit of this. Start working it together. Now, this is going to get very messy. If you've got the means to, like, you know, periodically wash your hands, you're going to want to do that from time to time, I reckon. But it's best to add the water bit by bit because really what you're looking for is a certain kind of consistency with this whole shtick. You'll know it when you see it. I'll do my best to show you guys what that looks like. So, what have you been doing? What have you been getting up to, you know? Me, I've been keeping busy, trying to, sometimes. I mean, it's been a mixed bag, you know. At times I've been really enjoying this entire thing. I'm in the enviable and lucky position that I've got that whole government furlough thing. I've also got that whole, what's the word? Mortgage freeze, which, you know, not gonna lie, that was very useful for me right now. But, don't get me wrong, man, like, I still kind of hate all of this. It's mostly just boring. There are bits of it I enjoy. I like having the time to myself to make music and sit around and stuff, but it does feel like it's the end of the summer holidays when you're in school now forever and you've just run out of things to do, you know? All right, so right now with my 500 grams of flours and olive oil and all that stuff, This is very sticky, and that means you can't really manipulate this a great deal. You still want to make sure that's all mixed in there, but right now it's a mess. It's a nightmare. If you're a clean freak, you're gonna hate this stage. But I assure you, it gets worse. Don't worry. So, buckle up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck it. All right, so, add more flour. Like I said, you're going to be eyeballing this a lot. Fuck off. The basics is just a starting place. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to get it so it's no longer so too tacky or sticky to the touch, but you want it still to be a malleable kind of substance. And then begins the really, well, it depends if you like baking, really. I mean, I don't mind baking, so I don't mind the next stage, which is the kneading. But it takes a bit of getting used to. I baked Stollen cakes for all of my family and friends for Christmases, going back about 5 years now. So I had at least an annual dose of serious amount of baking. And as a result, I think I can knead okay. I'm sure there are better kneaders out there. I'm no celebrity chef or Paul Hollywood or Bake Off champion or anything like that. I'm just a really, really, really bored man with nothing to do. Who's just desperately trying to create his own anecdotes throughout the day, because, geez. I should probably read a book or something. Yeah, I could do that. We'll do that later. All right, this is getting to be, it's still a little too tacky. I'm gonna get a little bit more flour. Jesus. Fuck. Get a bit more flour in there. All right. What else have I been up to? I haven't actually watched any television. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. There's nothing much that I really want to see. Any recommendations that you guys have got, I will consider. If you suggest Hollyoaks, I will excommunicate you, I think. I have a friend who's literally just been watching, not even in-sequence episodes of Hollyoaks, he's just been watching endless clips of it on YouTube, and that really upsets me. For more than I can justify. All right, now this dough is finally getting somewhere. Look at that. See, now that, still a little tacky, but that's okay, because the next step is the kneading. So for that, get some more flour. And cover your surface, your work surface with it, like so. Bish, bash, bosh. And then you take your freshly mixed dough, smack it down on the work surface, and you start kneading. Now, kneading is the process that basically sets up all of the yeast and the glutinous strands in your dough so that you can get that kind of bread-like quality. You need to do this a lot more if you were making a loaf of bread. But with pita bread, it's not too bad. And the trick of the kneading is to sort of stretch the dough out in front of you like this in such a way that it starts to rip and tear and get those kind of textures. And when you're done, you fold it over again, slap down, and keep going. It is that straightforward. Now, you're going to make a mess of it. Don't worry about it. That's actually good. It's not going to be a neat process by any reasonable stretch of the imagination. No pun intended. But you just keep working at it. Maybe during this time you could listen to some lovely music. Or imagine how hard you're going to party the second you're allowed to actually meet other human beings again. Or just imagine touching someone. Sorry. Yeah, so any of those things are good. Whatever you need to do to stay sane, guys. It's all about staying sane. So, what's been going on this whole time, eh? Well, in America, the last best hope for America to prove itself a country that isn't so individualistically driven, that's the most selfish place on the planet, Bernie Sanders just dropped out of the Democratic primaries, and that sucks, man. America really needed Bernie Sanders. But it's okay though, because they've got Joe Biden, a man who is quite clearly suffering from dementia, just more and more every day. He's gonna run against Trump. Oof. So my money's on Trump, which is upsetting. Really was hoping for a one-termer there, but don't think that's gonna be the case. I reckon Joe Biden's gonna fluff the shit out of this. I reckon he is. And over here, of course, we had Boris Johnson, a man who kept the pubs open for ages because various Tory donors owned those pubs, and was just like, you know what? I don't want the economy to get hurt by this. And Britain's basically awesome, so I'm just gonna let it happen for as long as possible. And then, after insisting that, you know, you could pretty much do whatever you want, and, you know, the guidelines were just kind of guidelines, you know, you make the decision yourself, all that kind of stuff. Went and shook hands with everybody in a corona ward in a hospital, and then got corona, which was pretty funny. I appreciate I may be in a minority there, but if I am, all you other people are wrong. Boris Johnson brought this on us by being Boris fucking Johnson. He shouldn't be forgiven. And it was quite funny when he got himself ill. That's not the same thing as wishing for him to get ill. He did that all to himself. I was just able to, you know, enjoy the proceeds. And then he went to intensive care, which was, I mean, holy schmoly, didn't see that coming. I mean, I'd hoped, but I didn't see it actually happening. But then he came out, so, yeah, you know, something. Right, now this dough is actually getting there, but you're gonna wanna knead it for about 10 minutes, something like that. What else has happened during this time? Oh, I think I had corona, boys. I think I actually had it. Pins and needles in my limbs, dry cough, classic symptom. And slight kind of like fluey sweats things. It did feel like I'd gone 6 rounds of Mike Tyson in my muscles around here, which is odd because I didn't, you know? And generally I just felt really tired and like shit for about a week. Don't worry, I quarantined. Ugh, God. And then just in time to come out of quarantine, isolation kicked in, and my life changed very little between the two events. Now, when you're kneading it, you are trying to rip it up. You're trying to look for those kind of elastic strands that form here and there in it. I'll see if I can get you guys an example of what I mean. So, here's the dough, and you can see these sort of like elasticy strands here. So I'll fold it over again. And you're looking to make it rip. That's okay. Don't feel bad if it does. You haven't made a bad dough. That's all part of the process. But what you're also looking for is that elastic quality. You want to feel it try and draw back into itself. And once you're getting to that point, you're pretty much good to go. And then is the next really exciting stage, the proving, which basically just means get it all up like that. Get yourself a bowl. Put a little bit of olive oil in that bowl so it don't stick. Like so. Shimmy that around a bit. Put your dough back in. And grab yourself a clean tea towel. Chuck it over the top. Now you're going to leave this somewhere, you know, warm-ish, which is to say everywhere, because global warming's a thing, for about an hour. Whilst that's cracking on, no need to tidy up all of this flour, because you're going to come back to it later. So, you know, you're only going to have a dirty work surface for an hour. It's all right. So, step 2, hummus. Now, hummus is one of these dishes that is basically the closest thing that I'll accept to evidence of God's existence. And it's basically chickpeas, garlic, some lemon juice, and a lot of olive oil. So, step 1, get your chickpeas. Now, I'm using canned chickpeas because I had canned chickpeas. As the future resource skirmishes come in the shops in the coming times, I'm sure you'll have to find new and exciting ways to source them. Honestly, the best way to do it is if you can get the stuff in jars. You go into like an Arabic or a Middle Eastern supermarket or a Turkish supermarket, and if you can get the stuff in the jars, that's the best stuff. But you can use dried chickpeas that you've soaked overnight. You can use canned chickpeas. It's not the end of the world, you know? Like Delia Smith saying you could use canned meat. So you get your couple of cans of chickpeas in there. Now, personally, I've always been of the opinion that there's no such thing as too much garlic, so I'm going to use an entire head of garlic here. Where the hell is that blender? Oh, Jesus. All right, to hell with that. Instead, I'm going to do this by hand. Stay hydrated, boys. Now, you might be wondering what the time is here that I'm drinking neat whiskey. And I assure you that it's well after 4:30 somewhere, you know? So, that's fine. This is Corona time. This is ISO time. You treat yourself, okay? Now, a word from not our sponsors. Are you tired of having kitchen knives that, you know, go blunt and you don't really know how to sharpen them and you haven't got the machine to do it? You can't really be arsed, and so eventually you just go out and buy a new kitchen knife. No more, because now you can get ceramic knives. Ceramic knives. Knives that are made out of ceramics, like your plates. Now, they are brittle, so you don't want to drop them because they will explode like a super razor-sharp grenade everywhere. But they're so good. They're so sharp. They're very difficult to find in the UK or indeed the developed world now, because maybe, as you use them, bits of them fracture off, which means you'll be consuming tiny ceramic razor blade sections. But I don't really see how that could possibly be that bad for you, you know? Just man up, you know? Eat that ceramic. But they are so, so good and sharp. Geez. So, peel all of your garlic, like so. And, you know, you can use garlic crushers and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, just use this ISO time to work on your MacGyver skills, your way to find new solutions to problems. Anyone here seen Goodfellas? You seen Goodfellas? Gangster film, Martin Scorsese. I mean, it's all right. A lot of people think it's like, you know, one of the greatest films ever, and I'm like, nah, it's a good film. Anyway, there's a scene in it where they're explaining what, you know, the mafiosos get up to when they go to prison from time to time. And basically, because they bribe all the guards, they can just spend their entire time cooking really nice food and, you know, doing something not so dissimilar to all of this, but presumably without the internet, because the film was set in largely the 60s through to the late 80s. Hard times for mafiosos. Anyway, in it, there's a wonderful bit where the narrator describes how to prepare garlic. And he's like, what you want to do is you want to get a razor blade and you want to slice it as thinly as possible, so the second you start cooking with it in your pasta sauce or anything like that, it just kind of like melts away and kind of disappears. Oh, okay, so originally this whole shtick was not going to be a cooking show at all. It was going to be a podcast that I was going to make with a friend and musical colleague of mine who is going to be the guy who gets to edit all this shit into something neat. Because I don't know how to do any of that. I just know how to talk shit whilst doing stuff. Sorry, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just chopping the ends off the garlic. You don't want those kind of like rooty bits in your hummus. It would stand out. It would make for some bad hummus, you know? Okay. So, Get rid of those. Bish bash bosh. What else have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of these little, I'm a musician, please. Usually I'm used to more attention than this. I will sing to some fellow musicians and we will try to vicariously live through one another as if we're still gigging. Video shtigs, which sounds bitter, and it isn't. I'm just bored. They were actually really good fun. So I've been involved myself in a little folk one, which has been really lovely. I've heard some lovely folk through there. Also, ISO Pub, shout out to, Utilipub. Utilipub is wonderful. Its organizer is basically setting up a new world order for fully automated luxury communism. And if we're not all getting a taste of that right now, I'm really sorry that you're not a mortgage owner or that you were self-employed. That sucks. The government sucks. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, Utilipub is great fun. Every time a new person comes into the show or comes into the stream, he plays this insane intro music, which is nuts. So that's been fun. But in that, I've been speaking to a lot of friends, been catching up a lot, I'm sure we all have. Good God, how much money has Zoom made since this shit kicked off, you know? I'll tell you what they haven't made out of me. Anything. I just keep resetting a new hour's meeting. Go to hell, Zoom. You ain't getting my money, but thank you for your service. Actually, how much even is it? I'm not sure I'm prepared to give them £15 a month to save myself 4 minutes of faff. Anyway, so you want to dice your garlic up nice and good, you know? Like, the finer, the better. And this is where these ceramic knives really come into their own. They just slice through everything like it's butter. Even things that aren't butter, you know? Even margarine. It just cuts straight through it. Shit. But don't worry about it too much because you're going to be blending the hell out of this. Oh yeah, you're going to need a blender or a hand blender. Or you're going to have, you know, a longer time making hummus. So get all of that in there like this. Now, you might notice I'm not really giving you any real measurements for this. And like I say, hummus isn't really a single recipe. There's no 100% right way to make it. It'll always be a thing that no matter who you give it to, if they like hummus, they'll always be like, yeah, but my mum/grand's/mine is better than yours. And also where I'm from makes hummus better than my neighbor's. It's one of those things. So this is a basic introduction to the whole concept. One thing I definitely think you will end up using is to quote a NASA scientist when he was asked how much water was used to cool down the launch pad after a shuttle launch, you're going to use shitloads of olive oil. And finally, the secret ingredient. Not all versions of hummus call for this. Really, the chickpeas and the garlic is the real necessity. But many versions of hummus, especially Arabic ones and Israeli ones, will generally require just a little bit of tahini. And maybe at some point in the future, I'll show you how to make your own tahini. It's basically sesame seed paste. Here's some I got from an Arabic shop on City Road. I would say for this amount, for these kind of ratios, you don't want that much. Like, you put too much tahini in, it's very overpowering over the chickpeas. But let's say 3 good teaspoons, like that. Bish bash bosh. There you go. Gummy. God damn. I mean, it's nice, but it's like more peanut buttery than peanut butter, you know? What's the name of that fear of getting peanut butter stuck to the lid of your mouth? For starters, just man up. Like, it's just peanut butter. Says man to quite a big fear, actually, that a lot of people seem to have. Stay hydrated. All right, what am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. Shit. Fuck. All right. Okay. Get yourself your hand blender. Oh, one thing that Joe really wanted me to talk about was the size of Lyndon B. Johnson's penis. Lyndon B. Johnson was the president, he was the vice president of JFK, John F. Kennedy. And when JFK was definitely shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, it makes complete sense. You can see it in the footage. Like, Bill Hicks has a whole thing about it. No, for real. No conspiracy there. Lyndon B. Johnson took over, and Lyndon B. Johnson had a massive dick. He was so proud of it. I'm not sure that this is true, but I like to imagine it's where we get the expression a Johnson to mean a penis from. He was so proud of his penis that frequently he would leave the door to a bathroom open whilst he was taking a waz and just, you know, keep talking to staffers about White House policy and all of that kind of thing. And occasionally he'd turn around, like having a waz with his schlong still out, and just go, "Have you ever seen anything so massive?" And yeah, like Lyndon B. Johnson's penis was and is a thing of legend. I'm not sure if it was pickled. It feels like the kind of thing that should have been. And he was 6 foot tall, so if he had a, well, he was over 6 foot tall. He's like 6'2", something like that. He was a big boy. And if you have a big old penis and it looks big on a big boy, I can only assume his penis was in the region of at least 10, 12 inches, you know? Like, just enough to just embarrass everybody else out of an orgy, I imagine. How's this coming along? Let's check. Not nearly smooth enough. This is going to take some doing, you know? Oh, I've forgotten ingredients here. The juice of a lemon. Nah, you know, you haven't got to be too fancy. Just get it in there like that. Bish, bash, bosh. Try not to get any seeds in there. If you do, shit in your garden, you'll get a lemon tree. And if you don't have a garden, no, I can't in good conscience advise that you shit in a plant pot, just... Actually, you know what? You do you. Now, sometimes you'll get hummus and it's just like completely smooth, you know. It's like smoother than my shaved head. Or other extremities that may be shaved. But sometimes you want a little bit of that chunk, you know, like that crunchy peanut butter vibe. This right now is a little in between. And it definitely needs a few additional ingredients. Again, you're doing this largely by taste. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it, to be sure. Like so. And I always add, God damn it, where is everything? Everything's been moved around. Somebody tidied up, didn't they? Motherfuckers. I mean, thank you, Z, you did a wonderful job. The house has never looked nicer. Turmeric, masala, where, I can't even remember what I'm looking for now. Is it over here? Oh, Jesus. Rogan Josh. Cumin, I want cumin. Where's the goddamn cumin at? Don't say we're out of cumin, boys. Fuck. Well, you can use turmeric as well, but you don't want to use too much. Turmeric, for starters, will stain the shit out of everything. So do not get this on your clothes, whatever you do. And you don't want to add very much of it at all. Just little pinch, because it's very, very overpowering. That's that. Shit. Well, I tried. Maybe if I look over here again. No? Usually I'd add cumin, and you can use as much cumin as you want, which probably explains why I don't have any cumin left. Looking for ingredients he should have sourced before starting to cook. Yeah. But that's okay, because we've got to wait for the... Boys, I'm a fucking genius. Look, the pita bread has to prove anyway. I haven't gone for my walk yet today. I'm gonna go get some goddamn cumin is what I'm gonna do. All right, let's just... Salt level's good. Lemon level's just right. Olive oil, bang, banging. It's just a little... It's a little bland right now. Definitely needs that cumin. I'm gonna say that you have to add cumin to hummus, and anybody that tells you otherwise, make some shitty hummus. Stay hydrated. Jesus. Right. For the next step, you're gonna need your wallet if you wanna go to the shop. Oh, fuck, I gotta mask up and everything now. Life is hard. All right. Says man making his own pita bread and hummus. All right. You know, usually I'd worry about going anywhere in sweatpants and a t-shirt, but I live in Adamstown, so I'm probably still gonna be one of the best dressed people in the shop. I'll be back in a tick. Need my wallet. Jesus. All right, back in a tick, boys. Oh, shit. Why? Why now? Why was that the straw that broke your camel's back? God damn it. You were so functional until now. Wait, how do I get this back in here? I have not thought this through. Will that work? Nope. Shop first. One mission at a time. All right. No cumin in the shop. Fuck. Next shop. How much? That's fantastic. There you go. Thank you very much, man. Boys Bosh. Discovered that one of my corner shops actually has a rad selection of herbs and spices, as well as a fantastic selection of hot sauces and pickles. You just got my new favorite, McCall's. You suck. You did not have cumin. What the hell, boys? What the hell? God, this show's gonna be awful. I really hope it comes together in the edit. Jesus. Cumin. See? That's how good they are. They're just like insane razor blades. They're like little lightsabers. Now, you can go nuts with the cumin. Just use lots of cumin. You don't want to eat too much turmeric. But you can, cumin, get that sucker in there, you know? People will tell you that you've used too much. Just, you know, stop hanging out with those people. All right, to be frank, boys, this hummus is really nearly there. All right, let's check that out. So now, more cumin, even more cumin. This is why I run out of cumin, man. And really, it's that easy. God damn. Man, that's so good. It's like using the Miles Davis scale of how good or bad a thing is. I'd say that's at least 11 motherfuckers right there. Up at least 11. All right, so hummus is good to go. And now I'm gonna go stare at the video screen to see how long the bread's been proven. All right. So, back to the pita breads. Your dough, which will have left longer than I have, is now ready for its final thing. So, for starters, it will have risen somewhat in that time, and you want to get rid of all of that air. Pitas are flatbreads. So just squeeze it flat as you can, like so. Up, bish, bash, bosh. Fold it all over again. And now you're going to want to turn the quantities. I reckon you can probably make about 8 or 9 pita breads. So rip off a hank, like that, roll it into a ball. That's one. That is some garlic I don't need. And rinse, repeat until you've got all of your little balls of pita bread ready to go. And this is why you left all that flour on your work surface earlier, because you're still going to want to get them coated in a little flour. Oh God, I forgot to do a thing. Turn your oven on to full power, and chuck in there some baking trays. Get those as hot as you can. Now you can also prepare pita breads using a frying pan if for whatever reason you can't use your oven or it's a shitty oven. You know, you could use a frying pan, that's fine. I prefer the oven method myself. And God, what I would do to have, you know, a proper stone-baked brick oven, you know, for like pizzas and shit right now. I mean, I can't have the pizza, I'm vegan, but it'd be nice to have it'd be a nice thing to have. It's like the new version of having an Arga. It just means that you're really middle class. Up, easy. All right. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nailed it. You see? I'm just good at this shit. Bam. Ba-da-ba-bam, bam. All right. So I've discussed Bob Dylan, Lyndon B. Johnson's penis, Boris Johnson. This all seems like a perfectly normal day. So, you got your balls, bam, 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 and so on. You get the idea, you bam them. And then you track down your rolling pin. Where's the fucking rolling pin? Then you track down your rolling pin. And with this, you want to make your pita breads flat because, say it with me, they're flatbreads. So it's real straightforward. You get your work surface and you just roll them into that classic pita bread shape. And the key here is to get them as flat as you can, really. I mean, you don't want them to be like razor thin, but you definitely want them to be flat because that's how you get that air pocket in the middle. See, if you do it like this, as soon as they hit that hot, preheated baking tray with a bit of flour on it, they separate into 2 layers in the middle. So you do want them to be really quite flat. In fact, I'll probably roll it just before slapping it down again in the oven. The good news is that this stage is actually pretty quick. You've done most of the work and soon you can have your hungover breakfast at 4 or 7 p.m. Oh, wait. No, it's gone. Oh, wait. Old Hickory. I forget exactly what the guy's actual name was. He was an American president who, whilst he was president, fought over 180 duels and won every single one of them. In fact, not a duel, but a mad person who thought that they were actually the King of England jumped out and tried to assassinate him from a hedge once by firing 2 pistols at him. Both the pistols misfired, and Old Hickory, who got his name because he had an Old Hickory walking stick, beat that man to death in the street with his walking stick. So, I mean, was he a good president? I don't know, but certainly there were some anecdotes, you know? He was pretty exciting. He was pretty exciting. Still, didn't have a 10-inch dick. But, I mean, maybe he did. Maybe you were just more like coy about that back then. It was a different time, you know? It wasn't, the 60s hadn't happened yet. All right. Any recommendations for stuff that I could do or recipes? Obviously, they'll have to be vegan. Oh yeah, this is a vegan cooking show. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. It's vegan because I'm vegan and I'm the person cooking and I have to eat the food. So, vegan cooking show, boys. God, I wonder how much there's going to be a spike in both divorces and AA meeting memberships after all of this. I mean, I'm not married, but probably should go to rehab after this for a bit, you know? Just keep the party going. Just don't go back to work. Oh, Jesus. God, by the end of this, I'll want to go to work. That's going to be upsetting. I'll have to look myself in the mirror and ask who have I become, you know? All right, nearly there, nearly there. Ooh, fun games that I have invented. ISO fashion. I encourage everybody to get involved and please, send in your results. So the rules of ISO fashion are very clear. You have to use items that are not clothing, right? I will accept essentially just fabrics like large scarves or saris or something like that. But you have to then turn them into fashionable and stylish items of clothing. Take photos, send them in, and I will be the judge each week. Why not? Sure, I've said that now. All right, so this is the final stage. You are nearly ready to eat. All you got to do is grab your very hot oven plate, lightly douse it with flour, like so. Lightly douse your pitas with flour. You don't need to do the underside because you've just doused the plate. Figure it out, you know? I shouldn't have to explain that to you. If I do, you're an idiot. I mean, you're a wonderful viewer. I'm sorry. Look, I'm just antsy, you know? I've been inside a lot recently. It's just really hard. It's just really goddamn hard. So, you know, you do that, and then you grab your thing, chuck them on. You're probably gonna have to do it in batches. But that's all right. You know, what else are you doing? Nothing. Nobody's doing anything, so don't worry about it. And then, chuck it in the oven. Now, it's only gonna take about 5 minutes for each load, you know, to be prepped. Like so. God, I need to eat some breakfast. I can get 3 in there. I can. I'm a wizard. All right. But there really is nothing we do in the meantime. So I'm gonna go have a cigarette and something. Look, if you're just making the pita bread and you're not making the hummus as well, maybe you want pita bread and you want tuna and mayo or something like that, you know. First of all, don't be disheartened if they don't like puff up and you get that nice middle ground. Pita bread's a really good flatbread just to put stuff on top of, you know. I made a gorgeous broccoli and pea madras curry the other day with red peppers and onions and garlic, and it went really nicely just on top of the pita bread, and you picked it up and it was good. Don't worry, that recipe's on the way. Maybe. I don't know. It really depends how long Joe's prepared to put up with this shit from me, you know? I think it's basically an act of charity on his part. I get a lot of shit for free. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I'm gonna have a cigarette. I'll be back in a tick. Ah, Beaties, you are the fucking best. Whoever knew that making cigarettes worse by wrapping them in mango leaves just made them better, you know? Man, I should have done some yoga today. I feel stressed. Should have done it before the show. I'd have been in a better mood. It'd have been more conducive to the audience, you know. Like, people would have preferred it. I'd have made a better show. Next time. Next time I'll do yoga before the show. Maybe go for a walk. Something like that. God, I pity Joe. He's gonna have a lot of cutting to do, you know? I mean, I went to the shops for like 15 minutes. It's just dead air and me talking shit. God, Corona sucks. But not going to work is always rad. Gotta love that. It just feels like being a naughty boy in school again, you know? All right, let's check on that first batch. So many. Why are my keys on the floor? I need a Hoover in here, man. All right. Tea. Tea will see us through everything. Provided I've got tea, I'm okay. All right, let's have a look. Oh, boys, these pita breads are looking pang. They are looking fire, all right? Now, the way to store your pita breads is, first of all, you know, tidy up a bit, because you'll have made a mess. But you want to get a fresh tea towel. Like this charming one my mother sent me. Good Welsh mams, you know, they always come through. Lay it flat. Just a little longer, just a bit longer in there. God, I need some food. Oh, you can put your jewelry back on now. There's nothing awful there. You know, I watched Uncut Gems. It was the most stressful film I've ever seen. I highly recommend it. It's incredible. It's wonderful. You're on tenterhooks the entire time. Adam Sandler knocks it out the park. Great performance. Wonderful film. And ever since then, I've just been like, yeah, I'm gonna get some rings. Why not? I'm gonna dress like a jewel merchant in New York. And no one else can really, you know, give me too much shtick about any of that yet. So, all right, come on. Golden brown, texture like sun. You're looking for a golden brown texture like sun in your pita breads before you take them out. But remember, you can always toast your pita breads. Once you've made them, you can chuck them in the toaster, like the ones that you buy at Tesco's. So they will golden up then as well. Let's check out. Ah, yes. Ah, boys, bosh. Look at them. Ah, puffy, pockety. I nailed it. It turns out they didn't need more time to prove. You get close to that hour mark, it's okay, it's all gravy. The trick is, you gotta get them flat, but then you get this wonderful puffy texture. The little pockets are formed. You just get them in your tea towel. You can pile them on each other, that's fine, like that. You're gonna need the space. And you just chuck in your next batch. It really is that simple. So what music have you been listening to during this time? I have thoroughly been enjoying both. Give me a little bit of another roll, just like that. Make it nice and flat. All right. I've been thoroughly enjoying classical. Oh, no space. Sorry, Pita. Classical guitar. Classical guitar is charming. It's beautiful, and much like any kind of classical music, whatever mood it's trying to invoke in you, it can invoke any kind of emotion. A lot of the time, if it's good stuff, you know, and I mean, if it's still around a day, it probably ain't total shit, you know? So check that out. Check out Borodin. Borodin's rad. Russian guitar. Ah, man. Russian guitar. It's all of the technicality of Spanish guitar, but much more docile, placid, and sad. It's almost like they knew the Soviet Union was around the corner in 1880. All right. You see what I'm talking about? Homemade Pitas, boys. You can't beat them. They're just so much better than the store-bought shit. It really is so much better. All right. So whilst that's doing that, I'm going to prepare the final stages of your hummus. Now, aesthetics with food are important. You want your food to look beautiful because everything should look beautiful if that's an option. And when food looks attractive, you just want to eat it all the more. So I'm gonna, I will take this ring off for this because it's coral and it's got loads of pits in it. Yeah, oh my God, I got some hummus in it last week. Trying to clean that out was a nightmare. I mean, it gave me something to do, so I'm thankful for that, but it was a ball ache, you know? All right, so get your hummus, chuck it back in the bowl, put that in the wash pile. Oh my God, that's really good. I'm great. Do your best to tidy up the bowl a little bit. So you want to do this. Grab a couple of tissues. That's what you need to do. And look, trust me, I've worked in restaurants. The amount of times that plates are just tidied up with just a dish rag or something like this, just to make it look a little neater, is every meal you've ever been served at a cafe or a restaurant. So, bish, bash, bosh, and now personally, this is Tito Jones's little presentation trick. You're going to want to get your hands on some olives. Now, I recommend black olives with hummus, unless you can get some very good, big, crunchy, you know, good green ones. Black olives I find work best. Drain the pot, like so, and just put the entire portion in there until you've covered the top layer of your hummus. And hang on to your jar, because once you peel the label off and give it a bit of a boil and a clean, you've got a really nice hipster cup there, you know? The kind of thing that you could expect to drink out of in Camden. Any number of different liquids, but they'd all cost at least £12. London, am I right? So, get your olives in, and then another final coating of olive oil on the top. Did I mention I'm part Italian? Anyway, and then you want to get your hands on some paprika. And if I find out right now that I've got no paprika left, I'm gonna kick off. And it looks like I have no paprika left. Oh, God, I thought I did. I'm not going to the shop again. I just don't accept it. All right. Oh, wait. Ha, 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 ha. Hot paprika. There we go. Now we're talking. So you get your paprika. You just give the jar a shake first because it tends to clump together. And then just, you know, over the top. Like that. Just like that. And now you set up your perfect Instagram photo. And you grab your phone. Because this is all it's really about. It's just about vanity and likes. And you take yourself a photo. Now, you're gonna want to select your filter correctly. Claridon is the one everyone goes for because it's the one immediately next to normal, and it looks good. So you do that. You grab it up. You write a caption. I'm going with homemade Pita and hummus. Hashtag the dream. Hashtag could a depressed person make this? You check the spelling, but you're dyslexic, so you're not really certain, so you just go with it. Oh, apparently I nailed it. Thank you. All right. And then I go, cooking show episode to follow. Bam. Follow ... You want to leave anticipation. That's very crucial. I get. Oh, also, you know, it's a sad fact that I hate social media. I hate interacting with it, and I've always hated most of the people involved in it. And then I came back from India having set up a tailored suits company, and with a desire to seriously promote an album I'm recording this year. And I was like, shh, I've got to do it. I've got to become a TikTok-y, Instagram-y little bitch. So that's sad. And then you start to enjoy it, and then you question who you've become. But it's okay, because you've got fresh from the oven pita bread. You've got fresh from the oven pita bread, and some, just look at this. Look at my hummus. Oh, it's so good. Oh, look at that in the light. Let me get some of that light on there for you. Oh, man. Yes, Maurith. And you just get a big old dip of it like that. Up. Up. And you just go. Oh, God. It's the best, boys. It's the absolute best. And this will last, a single person, a few days. Easy peasy. It's so good. It's so good. Let's check on them last pitters. Perfect timing. You see what I'm saying? You want that golden brown. Jesus. Ow. You slip them all into a big pile there. Ow. And you nailed it. You've made yourself A really very simple thing. And look, trust me, if you're doing this with a hangover, that's ideal, because by the time you're done, you have your cure. You've also had enough time to either drink some tea or drink more whiskey. The day's looking better. I know I appreciate I've probably come across as a bit of a grumpy SOB during all of this. I'm having some more straight away. What am I doing? But I assure you, it's all worth it. It's so much better than buying it from the shops. It's a lot cheaper as well in terms of quantity production. It's really worth it. I hope you'll join me again for more complicated dishes in the future, but ones that'll take less time to make, at least. Oh, for fuck! Oh, Jesus Christ! Always use a full head of garlic. Always do that. Oh my God. Oh, yes, Ciano. You know, the last time I had more fun than this, it was definitely not PG-13. Oh, just look at how it separates. Oh, you can turn it into a spoon, and then you can just get even more hummus in there. Ah. But that's it, boys. Hummus and pita bread. Ain't more to it than that. Just make sure you tidy up, or your flatmate will kick off. Even if you are the landlord. I'm not gonna play that card. That'd be a dick move. I'm a lefty, you know? But this is so good. Oh, boys. Boys, bar. Oh man, maybe I should have eaten before doing this. I'd have been in a much better mood. I'm in a better mood already. You know, actually life's pretty good. Yeah. God damn. Episode 1 in the can. It pains me to say the words. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Do all of those things. And at some point in the future, I'll try to sell you something. So it's important that you comply. Love you all. Stay indoors. 5G isn't a fucking the cause of this. Boris Johnson fucked this from the word go. Shouldn't be forgiven. And stay sane, however you need to do it. You know, whether it's drinking too much, or investing yourself in new hobbies, or just masturbating yourself into oblivion. Whatever you gotta do, you know? No one can judge you for that right now. Go crazy, be nuts, have fun, like and subscribe, and have some homemade hummus and pita bread, because it is fucking rad. Ciao for now, this was Cooking Through Corona with Tutor and Suganami Jones. Nailed it. First take.